And we are back with another episode of the Watch and Cut channel. So today we're going to have a first look of the completion of my trifecta. That's right, we're going to talk about PM2s today. And we're going to talk about these three lovely knives. This one just coming to me. And I'm kind of excited because honestly, I've just been a huge fan of PM2s for quite a while. As a matter of fact, the second knife I ever bought myself was one of these digital camouflage S30V plain Jane PM2s, and then I put a cool clip. And the coolest part is my buddy who I sold it to years ago still has it. So big shout out to Joe. Next thing, I've had quite a few of these. I've modded a bunch of these, and that's kind of what I like about them. I kind of feel like Spydercos are like the Honda Civic of the knife world.
Front tilt. Rear tilt. Left tilt.
You can kind of just mod them and pick different colors and things like that. And they're just a whole lot of fun to mess around with. The possibilities are almost infinite. You can get different back spacers, barrel spacers, scales. You can get different blade shapes. So yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. So here's a really cool 204p version that I did with some really unique, one of only 5 sets of these scales ever made. It had some really cool turquoise stone intermixed in with some large ply carbon fiber. It was just really, really cool. I also had the Maximate version. I also had, I believe, in a Rex 45 one and some others. Anyways, the one that ended up sticking around after all of them was this first edition DLT M390 exclusive version. Just thought M390 was really good. And Spyderco is a great heat treat company, so you know it's going to be good M390. And love the boys at DLT, so I like to support them. Big shout out to Jason over there. And yeah. So I stuck with this one. I ended up just selling all the rest because it looked like, you know, just a bunch of different colored PM2s. You know, what was the point for me? So anyways, I love the knife. The blade shape is extremely useful. It's really thin. It's just a very nice utilitarian knife. But the flat scales were just a little bit too in the hand for me. So I ended up finding these CNC cut carbon fiber scales. They're made of this brass and copper carbon fiber scale material that came from carbon plate. And then we got this Rips Garage here, Damascus clip. It's kind of done in this really cool matte color. And then we also have all titanium hardware. We got the barrel spacer. We got the screws, the pivot screw here, even the stop pin. It's all titanium, so I did as much titanium as possible. I just basically made the fanciest M390 PM2 I could. And, you know, it's stuck around all these years. So I've had this one a really long time. It's been through a few different set of scales, but yeah, I love this knife. So anyways, that is the one that stuck around. And then came along a new blade shape. Now, me being such a fan of this knife and just something I carry quite often, just because it's so handy and light and all that good stuff, you know, I had mixed emotions about this Tanto. Now, at first, I didn't know what to think. Is it cool? Is it weird? Is it a bit of both? Is it just flat out ugly? Is it trying too hard? Is it useful? Is it, you know? And I kind of decided yes on a lot of those things, positive and negative. And I kind of held out on buying one for quite a while. And I'm kind of a sucker for sprint runs. And eventually, They did this black blade version with the M4, this coated blade, and it came with jade scales. And you know, it was a Blade HQ exclusive. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna try that. That knife is probably very easy to flip, and why don't I just buy one and see what it's like. I was kind of skeptical. I didn't really think I was gonna like it, but it was kind of weird, right? So let's try it. And as you can see, it's never, yeah, it never ended up getting sold. So it ended up being that I really liked it a lot. I did the same treatment. We got the Aramis scales on this one as well, but this one is called the Raptor edition. This is one of his newer designs. And we got another Rips Garage Damascus clip. Now this one is polished, but you can also see that kind of left some of the areas kind of like a flat black, like a Zerk look to it, but it's just all titanium. Some of it treated, some of it not. I thought that looked perfect with the purple carbon plate, carbon fiber. You get some blues and purples. It's just got a nice gleam to it. And I really love the tone of purple that carbon plate gets. Now, both of these knives are in carbon plate, and honestly, I don't really want to endorse Tim because I have bought a lot of stuff off of him over the years, but he's skipped out with a $200 order since the whole Russian invasion. Now, I understand that that is definitely a thing. However, CKF, a bunch of other people have managed to do good business, and, you know, all that good stuff, while Tim has skipped out on a couple messages of mine and has barely responded at all. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of carbon plate right now. And let's continue with the PM2 Trifecta. So the reason why I called this video the Trifecta is because I decided to get more than one PM2 because of the blade shapes. And in usual fashion, this blade shape had come out after this one. And I'm like, geez, man, like how many, you know, like this is kind of crazy. What's next? So here it is. Here's what we're going to look at. I have taken this out already and kind of checked it out. And I gotta say, I'm pretty pleasantly surprised. So just like these two, this is an exclusive model and some cool ass steel. We got CPM M4, we got M390, and here we have CTS XHP. Cutlery exclusives, cutlery shop exclusives. They generally like to use XHP, which is a real treat for me because that is literally one of my favorite steels. So that was a nice surprise to find one of these. They also made this in a black coated blade, but I tend to lean more towards the satin. For me, doing something like this is a little bit more on the rare side, but here it is, the Trifecta piece. So this is the PM2 Wharncliffe. I mean, this thing just looks like a massive animal claw, and it feels like one too. I mean, you can just tell, like, this is gonna cut some stuff. As far as like the strength of the tip, only time will tell. You know, PM2s get ground pretty thin on the bottom, so this is not a knife I think I would abuse, but I love the steel. It's, you know, XHP is a great tool steel. It takes a beautiful polish. It holds an edge well. It doesn't rust that easily, although it's not like fully stainless like M390 would be, but it is just, I mean, you can even tell like in the color difference. It's just got like this gleam. XHP is the bomb, guys. That's why a lot of custom knife makers love to use it. So there it is. Also, one thing to highlight, Both of these guys are extremely sharp with a factory edge. This guy is a whole step further. I mean, I was checking the edge and it is just popping hairs like nobody's business. You can just see there's nothing left. This guy is just super, super sharp. So that was really impressive. The bite on it is crazy. So that's just a highlight of being able to do a flat edge like that. You can really get them super keen. Having this point, digging into packages and material, I think this is really actually quite utilitarian. And the orange pop on these scales is so awesome. I really love the orange on this. But, you know, in like fashion, I am gonna have to have these factory squared off scales say goodbye. And you can kind of see like your access to the lock and everything in the factory configuration compared to these nice contoured scales. So gripping onto this, the clip and everything, it's just not even as close of an experience as like grabbing something nicely contoured with nice flat clip, not digging into your hand. This makes a really nice, comfortable knife. This is also comfortable if you don't really know any different, but just bearing down on that handle all the time would definitely give me some hot spots. You can already kind of see. So what did I do? Of course, I emailed my good buddy, Mr. Aramis. The problem is there is quite a stir-up going up there in Russia, and unfortunately he's not working right now. He's doing something else, trying to figure out how to get out of Dodge, let's just say. So for right now, these are not going to happen, but you know, I just can't let it be like that. I will get some scales from him when he's back in business. That is most definitely the plan, to really make these the true trifecta. But in the meantime, since my good buddy Rip's Garage does such phenomenal clips, and actually on my Para 3, if you check out on my Instagram, this one right here, those scales are actually from him as well. So I had a good experience with the scales. So I figured, you know, in the meantime, why not get some carbon fiber toxic green scales. This is the only carbon fiber I don't really have in my collection at all from Fat Carbon, so that was kind of a cool thing to do. It's gonna look nice, I think, and because they're carbon fiber, they're a little bit more rounded and contoured. That's technically what you would expect aftermarket scale makers to do. And Rip's Garage does a pretty good job. I have experience on the Para 3. So we did this. I think this is going to be a really cool setup. We also went ahead and ordered some screws from my good buddy Adrian. We got a mixture of a green and yellow anodization coming for full titanium setup, including the barrel spacer. And then we couldn't forget the clip. And here is where the clip's gonna be. I literally spent an hour looking for the clip that I thought would match the best, and this is what I came up with. And I absolutely think I nailed it. I mean, it's got this kind of like python looking, you know, jungle look. I think this knife's gonna look badass. So I am not gonna put it together just quite yet, because I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this knife as is for now, with his really cool orange scales, until Adrian gets the screws over to me. So this way I just take it apart once and put it back together, and boom, it's finished. It's kind of what I did with these. I just wait for all the parts to arrive. I don't get too excited, because who needs to mar up screws and do this and do that, you know, over and over again? There's no point. Just wait and be patient, and just wait till the whole thing's ready, and then put it all together. You usually get a much better result that way. So anyways, The trifecta is now complete. Here, let me move these over. Let's put all these blade shapes facing each other. Pretty damn cool.
Wow.
I think I'm kind of cool at 3. So I hope they don't make another blade shape, or maybe I do. Who knows? Maybe they'll come up with a recurve next, right? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on the PM2. I hope you get inspired to mod your own knives, and keep posted. I will do a assembly video follow up on this guy later when the rest of the pieces arrive. So stay tuned till then, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.